Hello out there, and we are live. And the first few seconds of these are always fun because I don't know when anyone will come on, so I'm sort of talking to myself for a while. But for anyone who's watching after this has already been recorded and posted, today we're going to be talking about some new stuff that I've going on with some donations that I received and some charity stuff that I'm going to be doing for the holiday season. So I'm really excited about all of that. There is going to be an official post on YouTube and Instagram, like a recorded video, not a live one. So yeah, once all that stuff is finalized and in the works, we'll have that out there. But today I just want to go through some of the stuff that I have, some new stuff, and then some other stuff unrelated to this whole charity kind of thing that I've put together. So let's just get started. And yeah, I'll talk about some of the things that are going to be available and end up potentially in some of your hands. So basically what's going on, guys, and a lot of you already know, my buddy Nick Maffei at the beginning of this year, so way back in January now, he passed away and left behind a family, and super tough, obviously, for them, still is. And so I've been trying to put together a charity auction, a charity raffle for like the holidays. So I've got a pretty fancy Spyderco that was donated that I want to bust out, and we're just going to do that right now. Not going to wait for anyone else to show up. If no one does, get it. It's the middle of the afternoon on a Thursday. This is sort of an impromptu thing, but I wanted to get this out there and show it to you guys prior to the actual, raffle or auction getting posted. So this is a knife. You will recognize it. This is a PM2. It was donated by the people at St. Nick's Knives, which is awesome because this is one of those sprint runs that is hard to come by. This is the CPM 4V PM2. So pretty sweet knife. I've got to say, like Spyderco does their what's up, Zach? What's up, man? Spyderco does their sprint runs, and sort of what it seems like is the distributors all get their own special look and flavor. So if you're aware already, and I don't know where I have it, but the Blade HQ color is, they get the J to G10 on all their stuff. And, so you see a sprint run from Spyderco or even CRKT, they end up doing like J to G10 on a lot of stuff. St. Nick's, I gotta say, man, St. Nick's might have the best color variation of theirs because they've got the Deadpool look. This red and black is just sick. I think DLT recently got like a purple, which is awesome. And honestly, hey, what's up? DT Rex, what's going on, man? Yeah, but DLT Trading got the blue, or excuse me, the purple with the black, and that just looks sick. And it's time for me to get my PM3, a pair of three again in that purple. All right, Zach, but if it's your second favorite, man, what's your favorite? What's number one? Trying to think of what it could be. Is it that purple? I don't know. Let's see what Zach says. But I love the Deadpool look. I think when they first had their Delica, it was really beautiful, and this is a pretty sweet one, blue and black. All right, yeah, obviously, guy who likes his blue stuff. That's for sure. I know that. But so what happened is, I decided, a lot of people had put in money into the pot for Nick's family at the beginning of the year. They did a lot of really, really good things. And, and then as time goes, that sort of slows down. And so, is the red translucent? Not really. I mean, you can see this different shade here, and that's just like the color of the interior liners and where the liner is maybe like a little bit thicker. But yeah, so maybe translucent on some level, but not, the compression lock moves right here, and so there's a distance, and that's why you can see like a different color shade. It's not totally translucent. Like, hold on, let me pull. If you pull back and take a look at this one, like you can see through this JG10 a whole lot better. Yeah, so there you go. Hey Dom, what's going on, man? So so yeah, but anyway, so I've got these knives that were donated because, as time goes on, people just start to lose interest maybe a little bit, and people move on with their lives, and obviously the loss that his family is feeling is certainly not gone. And I wanted to do something around the holidays to try to like get some money in his family's hands to pay for like Christmas gifts and that sort of thing. And so I reached out to a bunch of I mean, I reached out to a ton of people, and literally I only got to Rip City. What's going on, man? So I reached out to a ton of people, big name distributors. Not going to knock anybody for not taking part, but the only responses that I got at all were from River's Edge and St. Nick's. And some of the other distributors out there, they've helped a whole hell of a lot. So I can't, like I said, I can't really hold it against them at all. But I just really want to shout out River's Edge Cutlery and St. Nick's Knives for taking part. And so they St. Nick's sent me this PM2, which is awesome. I mean, just awesome that they sent the 4V one, because I mean these are pretty rare, and I know secondary market these are going for a pretty penny. What I'm going to be doing with this is an auction. So this will actually be an auction in the next few days that we start, and it's going to run for a few days. So this will be available to do on Instagram or on YouTube. And then River's Edge sent a few things. So they sent an Olight, and then they also sent this OKC Shikra. And I got to tell you guys, I had sort of missed the window with the OKC when it first came out. Ontario's a weird company, I think. Like they only release a couple knives, like a couple of folders here and there. They don't have like the big production schedule that a lot of the bigger companies have. So it's easy for them to fall under the radar. Yeah, both these knives really do look great. And hey, thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Shikra, it looks really good. The first time I picked it up, and I wish I could actually use this to do a review. Again, I'm going to have to get one of my own. But the first time I picked it up, it felt cheap just because it's so light. And it's not like bug out light. The bug out here is less than 2 ounces with these Rogue Bladework scales. The Shikra is like 2.4 ounces, but guys, it feels like nothing. Titanium and micarta for a pretty good price. All-State blade steel. But if you're like me and you just sort of roll with the punches when it comes to the blade steel, you know that All-State's going to be just fine for daily use. This is a pretty nifty little option, I think. So they were good enough to send this. They also sent, let me bust in this Olight. Yeah, it does have great action. Yeah, it definitely does. They sent out this Olight too. I haven't taken it out of the box, so I don't know much about this, but yeah, man, just super cool. Hey, Gear the Gorge, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to talk to you. But they sent this. So what's going to happen, like I said, it's going to be an auction for this one right here when it gets started. And then I'm going to have this knife, the Shikra, the stuff from River's Edge, and then a couple other knives that I'm going to do a raffle for. So this Kaiser that Jack Farmboy was nice enough to anodize for me. Yeah, man, I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while. Um, the I'm going to do a raffle. What's going to be different about the charity raffle that I'm going to be doing with this stuff is that it's not going to be unlimited spots. I'm going to do it fixed, so the odds will be better, hopefully quicker to fill, like $10 a spot, 15 spots, something like that. Just trying to do it quick. And what's up, Slicey? And get that stuff taken care of. So hopefully have this all wrapped up by the end of Thanksgiving. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to part ways with this bad boy. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to raffle off my bug out for it. So definitely want to do that and do my part. So stuff, Last Ranger, that's a good question. And I'll get into the details of that when I do the official post. But what I think what's going to happen is in both cases, the auctions and the raffles, I'm just going to post them probably on YouTube first, and then and give it a bit to see if people want to fill in those spots there, and then post something on Instagram as well. Just again, closed spots, so it's not going to be unlimited. So hopefully stuff like this will be quick. So I'm thinking like $10 a spot, 20 spots for this. So a really good deal. Hopefully it'll go pretty quick. This has the Rogue Bladework scales and the Blades We Love hardware. And I got to tell you guys, when it comes to the bug out's pretty fantastic. We know this. I've seen so many different variations. Hey, man. Hey, don't knock that. It was the new favorite knife, but you know what it is like as a knife guy. There's just so much shit that comes out that, like, yeah, it was my favorite knife. It stayed in the pocket for a while, but you got to keep getting new stuff. And I mean, it really still, though, arguably, someone tell me what knife that at least that I own that you could really say is significantly better than this thing. It's just pretty darn good. It fits everything that I need it to fit. You know, some people like having big tanks and like having like these big super durable things, but I don't really need that. You know, I don't really do too much heavy duty cutting, and when I do, I usually know in advance and so I can carry something appropriate. So but as it is, what I was saying is these scales, I'll tell you right now, I still think, even though so many people are making their own scales, these are some of the early Rogue scales, and they're still as good as anything that I've seen out there. So love the CF here. So yeah, going to be tough to part with this one, but with just all the stuff that keeps coming along, I end up not carrying it that often. And so as much as it'll be weird to not own a bug out, I think it's appropriate. And for, a friend of mine who was that close and meant so much, it makes sense to give something up. As for doing it on the channel here, yeah, like I said, I'm planning on like opening it up on the channel and making it available here first. So I mean, it might go quick. Hopefully, it will go quick, but we'll see. Then one of the other things I wanted to talk about, and I don't know, I wasn't going to share this in a video really, but like a recorded video. But I finally did get a new wallet. So um, oh yeah, the mini Osborne for sure. I'm hoping to snag one immediately. I think I've got a buddy in the business maybe who's gonna try to grab one for me that I'll be able to pick up and pay for. Oh yeah, yeah, yours is on the way, T-Rex. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm stoked about it. I'm excited that and I've got this 770 here, which is I think a little bit smaller than the 945 will be. But yeah, I really like the classic old Osbornes that are the smaller size, like the emissary and stuff. You know, um, those knives, there's definitely a spot for them, and it seems like Benchmade has moved away from that small size with the access lock recently, and so having the 945, I think it'll be pretty cool. I think a lot of people will pick it up. Obviously, it's going to be a huge hit. It's one of those things that I never thought about, and then when they announced it, I was like, yeah, shit. Why wouldn't they have done that before? Um, but yeah, this is the new wallet. So I'd posted something about like my EDC and now I wanted a new wallet, and my wife had already purchased me this, and I didn't even know it. So, yeah, pretty sweet. A little boba look. And then the thing that's really cool about it, check this out. So the people, this was from Etsy, they mailed the wrong one. So they made it wrong the first time. So I got a second one. So this is an extra. So this might be a giveaway thing, a raffle thing. Who knows? So that's all I really wanted to talk about, guys. So if we got people around who want to chat, what do we got going on? Who's carrying what? What are your plans? Thanksgiving plans? What other stuff are we looking for? What's on the horizon? Super Freak and the 945. Ethan, is that Hogue? Is that a manual or is that an automatic? Man, everybody's got good stuff. Let me see what I was screwing around with. Nice, man. Those manuals, I didn't even realize how good those manual Hogues were. And I was in this like pass around with a bunch of nicer knives, and I ended up taking a cold steel because I really liked the cold steel that came my way. But yeah, I had a chance to get a hold of one of those manual Hogues, and it was awesome. So Protect Malibu, I still got one of those floating around here, man. And that's one of those knives that I don't know. I didn't give it a bad review, but it just didn't blow me away. The Malibu didn't. It just seemed sort of plain. But I think it's one of those knives that the more I think about it and the more I like every time I take it out, and I have to mail it back to its owner, which is unfortunate. But every time I take it out, there's like there's just I don't know, I just start to like it a little bit more. Dang, those decas are pretty sweet too. Here's what I've been messing around with today is these CRKTs, these classic little glide locks. And I know most people don't give a crap about what's up, Seven Ready? Most people don't give a crap about this old discontinued kind of stuff that I really like, but these things are so cool. And the guy who sent me the ProTech Malibu, his name's Greg. He sent it to me to check out. He actually gifted me this one. This is a pretty rare glide lock to pick up. Yeah, but you know what I mean, right? That's like, I think the problem with the Malibu for me was that there was so much hype about it that I opened the thing up and I was expecting it to be like this life-changing knife, and it just wasn't. I mean, it's really good. It's really, really good. Here, I'm grabbing it right now. So the Malibu is really a good knife, but I don't know, sort of plain and slicey. I know you like that, so I mean that is what it is. And you can see the action is just stupid. It's stupid, stupid. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I think I had handled the Mordax, so the Mordax is a really good knife, and I really, I enjoyed having that one. And I don't know, maybe I was expecting this to be even better than that. And I mean, it's a different design and maybe a better overall EDC, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know, just sort of there. And it's funny, and I've been thinking of making a video about this. It's just, and I'm sure some of you guys will understand. There's some knives that when you pick them up, they just talk to you in a way where, other times you get a knife and you carry it for a couple days and you move on to the next thing. And this was definitely one of those knives. But then other times you pick something up and you're like, shit, I just want to keep carrying this knife. And I wish I could find where I put that cold steel, because that cold steel is exactly one of those knives. Another one that just like stayed in my pocket for a much longer time than a lot of knives when I picked them up is this SOG that I talked about last time I went live. It just, it just happens to talk to you, and the quality of it isn't really the talking point. It's just sometimes there's something about it, you know? Yeah, and I mean, and Josh, I can completely understand that about the 940. The 943 for me is like bread and butter, and I absolutely love that knife, and I carry it all the time. But like I can understand, like you get this knife, you've heard about it for years, and again, the Malibu's new, so it's not really the case there where it's like years of hype. But with the 940, I get it because you get it, and it's just a knife. There you go, slicey dicey just changed up his carry. There you go, man. But another one that happened to me with was this Tucson, and I believe this is the 169. And I bought this from, I don't know if you guys know Stasa 23. I'm sure a lot of you know, but Stasa's the man, and he's a great dude. And he did a sale, and I bought this Tucson because I hadn't had a Tucson in a while. And this knife is, I mean, it's fantastic. The symmetry on the handle is wonderful. It's just a great looking knife. It's well built, like most Tucsons are. It's just got a lot going for it, and I got the knife. I carried it for like a day, and I was like, all right, I'm good. On to the next one. Who knows why? Maybe it's variables in life and other stuff that we have going on. I don't know. And then there's like the goofy shit that I just keep coming back to. Like, all right, there you go. CRKTs that are sort of weird and not really the best built knives, but they just interest me. So that kind of stuff is what it is, man. Like, can't really measure that. So yeah, the Malibu was one of those. And then I actually, let me see if I have the other ones I felt the same way about. Got it right here. The TRMs, sort of, and I know this is going to be blasphemy and you guys are going to blow me up for this, but the TRMs, I think I understood these a little bit more just because they are, hey, take care, Last Ranger, appreciate it. Because I don't know, I feel like these just have a little bit more going for them in terms of looks and lines and just customizability, if that's even a word. But it's sort of the same thing, I didn't necessarily I didn't necessarily gravitate to these and pick them up. Yeah, you do need to handle them. I mean, I think it's good to check out, but it's also something that anytime there's like a level of hype with a knife, I would recommend trying to get one in hand before you make the purchase because I mean, especially there's some people who have two or three knives in their collection, and that's perfectly fine. Obviously, like it's a tool first for a lot of people, and then there's like idiots like some of us who who just have the itch and we have to get as many knives as we can. And I mean, I think the thing if you're on any kind of budget, then sometimes you can get that knife and be underwhelmed. And I'm not saying that the TRM is underwhelming at all. It isn't, but it is one that when I got it, I was like, all right, I definitely don't need to get the Atom, and I'm putting the Neutron on my long-term wish list. But there have been other times where I've gotten a knife in hand and I've been like, shit, I have to get this right now, and I order it immediately. And when that happens, you know, it's a pretty cool thing, but you don't know that until you handle it. This one has aftermarket scales. This Neutron, I thought they were actually from TRM, but they're not. These are like a secondary market, a secondary maker, and they are just beautiful. So, I mean, if I could keep this knife, I definitely would. But as it is, long term, I'd like to get one of these. But you take a look at it, and you take a look at it next to the bug out, and you take a look at it like next to the mini grip, sort of in the same classification here. So you don't really have maybe the bug out's a little longer, more on the atom size, but it's just a matter of need. And the thing is, if you have a knife like me, someone who likes the mini grip, right, as much as I do, if you got a knife that's going to compete for pocket time with the mini grip, like you almost don't want that if you have a knife that you enjoy that much. So I don't know. So I've been trying to find like categories, things that I don't have something quite like this. And that's why, again, you keep coming back to crap like this. It's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. One other thing that I recently got, you bought a fake bug out on accident and you hate it. You hate the design of it, or is it just a crappy, like, fake? Yeah, I mean, there's lots of fakes out there. I had a guy, God, this is a terrible story. I had a guy send me a message, a comment, and then I talked to him on Instagram about his Griptilian, and he was asking about the holes for the Omega springs because they look different than any Benchmade that he's seen, and it turns out that his is probably a counterfeit, and he didn't know it. So yeah, it's a bummer when that happens. Yeah, I mean, I guess the good thing, Ethan, is that you probably got that for a decent price, and now it just isn't the one for you. So at least it wasn't like something that you thought you were getting a good knife, and then you know, yeah. Rick, dude, handle a smock. It's a cool knife. I wish I kept mine. Oh, Ethan, which death scales did you get? Let me see if I have mine nearby. Cause yeah, here's the mini grip of mini grips for me. This is the Ritter. The way that Death Grip Scales does, just the way that blend gets to the from the carbon fiber to the G10 is beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful. And some of like the cool, yeah, yeah. Some of the stuff that he does is just like crazy inlays, and you know, I get that, but it almost looks like gold class stuff, from Benchmade, and that really just isn't my style. Just like the too, I don't know, too much of like the flares, I guess. So something like this is about as fancy as I want to get, at least for a knife that I'm going to carry. So I know a lot of people will disagree with me with that, but I'm not really a Damascus kind of guy or just like a fancy embellishment kind of guy. So stop talking about the Hogue Mini RSK. Stop it. I don't want to hear about it. Not till I get that purple one, damn it. I'll move this out of the way. Yeah, last thing, guys. And anytime I go live, I'm going to try to really be in the 30-minute range or less. So just a couple more minutes, and then we'll give it a goodbye. But I got a buddy of mine sent me this guy right here. So Yeah, I know it's good. I'm changing the subject. um, buddy of mine sent me this Liang Ma GSD back in the day, and I don't know how many of you guys are CRKT fans, but they had a time period where they were going like super awesome with their stainless steel frame locks, and they were hitting it out of the park with a lot of models. And this was one of them that was really good and then got discontinued. And it's an anvil, but it's a pretty darn good knife. So yeah, going to be carrying this one. Don't really know, there's no reason to do a review of a knife that's been discontinued for so long and no one really is going to pick it up, but it's a pretty neat little thing. And every time I see an old CRKT that's really good, it just makes me happy and makes me wish that they didn't discontinue stuff. But yeah, all in all, just to recap, if anyone is on that wasn't at the beginning, the point of this today was to sort of talk about some of the stuff that's going to be available for auction or raffle to benefit the family of Nick Maffei. St. Nick's Knives sent this awesome PM2. Really cool of them to do that. That this is going to be available for auction. And then River's Edge Cutlery sent the Shikra from OKC and this Olight, and then I've got a bunch of other stuff I'm going to throw in to the mix. So yeah, really appreciative of everyone for helping out. And someone disliked the live. Bastards. Whatever, man. Whatever. It happens. um but yeah, so that's stuff that's on the horizon. Hopefully I'll be doing like one more live feed just to BS with you guys before the holiday. Let me know, either shoot me a comment on this if you're still here. Is there a specific time or day that you would want me to go live? I've sort of been doing it randomly. The auction, Rick, is probably going to start tomorrow or Saturday. All right, and it's going to go for a few days. Is there a specific time or day? I know, like, I don't want to infringe on any guys, and honestly, if I have time when other guys are going live, um, there's no point for me to do it. I'd rather watch them. If I'm free on Saturday night, I'll watch Big Red. Same thing, Slicey on Sunday. A lot of times I go in and I'm squirrely in these live feeds, and I just don't say that I'm there, and I just watch for a while and then go out. Uh, but yeah, if there's a time that you guys want this to happen, or if I should set a time, let me know. It's just been impromptu. Friday nights, yeah. Friday nights, man, that's when things are happening. People are out and about. I don't know. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like a lot of times are taken, and again, I'm not trying to butt in on what anybody's already doing. So as of now, it's just going impromptu, but I don't know, maybe down the road we'll set something up and get it more regular. So yeah, Sunday would be great. What would be cool actually is if we could do like, I don't know, just if there were 3 or 4 channels that just scheduled like Sunday throughout the day. So like someone went live at like 4, someone went live at 6, then you have Slicey at like 8, and someone could just like, if you were watching, you could just bounce in on all these things throughout the day. That'd be fun. Yeah, 7 ready. That's definitely true about the Sunday stuff. It's cool, especially maybe once football season ends. Yeah, that's it, guys. I really appreciate everyone who hopped in. This small group, it was good. It's good to share this stuff with you. I'm really excited for getting all this stuff underway. So stay tuned. Should be coming really soon. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good one. You too, buddy. Later.